So, there I was thinking, Phil, where haven't you dragged your appetite and questionable sense of direction yet? I'd already been to the usual places, beaches with cocktails, cities with endless museums, even a mountain or two. But I wanted something different, something that would make my friends raise their eyebrows and my family question my sanity. Then it hit me, Namibia, the Skeleton Coast. Just the name alone sounded mysterious, a little dangerous, and definitely off the beaten path. They say it's where the desert meets the sea, a place where two worlds collide in the most dramatic way possible. I say it's where your car's paint job goes to die. But hey, adventure calls. And who am I to ignore the siren song of a place that eats vehicles for breakfast? Or maybe I misheard sensible beach holiday. Instead of palm trees and gentle waves, I got wind, sand, and a sense of impending doom. I packed my bags, mostly snacks. You never know when you'll need emergency rations in a place like this. Who knows what culinary delights await in a place named after bones? Maybe I'd stumble upon a legendary Skeleton Coast sandwich shop. My travel agent called it uniquely atmospheric. That's code for bring your own entertainment and don't expect Wi-Fi. Translation, bring a warm coat and a therapist. The wind alone could give you an existential crisis. Why go to a place notorious for swallowing ships whole? Because sometimes, the best stories come from the most unlikely places. Because I'm Phil, and if there's a chance to find a good sandwich in the middle of nowhere, I'm your guy. I live for the thrill of the unknown and maybe a bit of mustard on my shirt. The pictures looked incredible. Mad Max meets Moody Beach. It was the kind of place that promised epic stories and even better photos. The name, Skeleton Coast, doesn't exactly scream family fun park. It's more like a dare than a destination. It's more like nature's final warning. Enter if you dare, and don't forget to leave your comfort zone behind. The plan, drive, look at things, try not to get stuck, and maybe get a good story out of it. If I made it back with all 4 tires, I'd call it a win. My family thought I was nuts. They said, why not just go to a spa? My wife just handed me extra sunscreen. She knows my track record with sunburns and questionable decisions. The Skeleton Coast, not for the faint of heart, but it promised drama, desolation, and maybe a glimpse into a world so raw it makes you feel small and hungry. And honestly, isn't that what a real adventure is all about? Landing in Namibia was one thing, a moment that felt like stepping onto another planet. The view from the plane window was a preview of the vastness to come. An endless sea of sand and stone, stretching as far as the eye could see. But driving toward the Skeleton Coast, that's next-level isolation. The further you go, the more the world you know seems to fade away, replaced by a raw, untouched wilderness. The roads, sometimes paved, sometimes just a suggestion, often little more than a memory of where a road once was. Each mile feels like a test of your resolve. The landscape? Imagine your favorite beige carpet, stretched to infinity, sprinkled with rocks that look like they're judging your life choices. It's a place where color seems to have been bleached away by the sun, leaving only the essentials. It's a dramatic nothingness that makes you feel tiny. The silence is so complete it's almost loud, a reminder of how small you are in the face of nature's enormity. The first glimpse of the coast is breathtaking, not Hawaiian sunset breathtaking, but the planet is trying to tell us something breathtaking. It's a wild, almost intimidating beauty. Dunes tumble into the raging Atlantic. No gentle transition, just sand, then bam, angry water. The ocean here doesn't invite you in, it dares you to come closer. The scale is immense, you could scream and only the wind would hear you. It's a place where solitude is absolute and the horizon feels impossibly far away. They call it the land god made in anger. I can see why. The elements here are fierce and the landscape feels almost mythic in its hostility. No welcome committee, just a sign saying, proceed with caution. It's less an invitation and more a challenge, but there's a weird, stark beauty. The wind sculpts the sand into nature's abstract art, creating patterns that shift and vanish with every gust. The soundscape, wind, ocean, and nothing else. It's both terrifying and peaceful, a symphony of emptiness that somehow soothes the soul. You find yourself whispering, as if in a giant sandy cathedral. Every footstep feels sacred, every breath a privilege. My first impression? This place is bonkers. And I kind of loved it. It's a reminder that true wilderness still exists, and it's more powerful than you can imagine. The ocean here isn't friendly. This is the Atlantic with an attitude. The waves don't lap, They attack, smashing the shore with relentless fury. The sound is a deep roar, like front row at a heavy metal concert, but the band is Mother Nature. The Benguela current brings chilly water and fog that rolls in like a horror movie effect. 1 minute you see for miles, the next you can't see your hand. Standing on the shore, you feel your own insignificance. It's humbling, and a little terrifying. The ocean here is mesmerizing, wild, and untamed. The colors, deep blues, churning whites, sometimes murky green. You could watch it for hours, until the wind whips sand into your eyes. Not a place for a swim or sandcastles, unless your sandcastles are tsunami-proof. This ocean is here to make a statement. I am large, I am in charge, and I will mess you up. Respect the water, or else. The main event, shipwrecks. If you like your landmarks rusty and half-buried, this is paradise. Massive cargo ships and trawlers all surrendering to sand and salt. A museum of maritime misfortune. The famous Edouard Bolin lies inland now as the desert encroaches. It's surreal. These aren't just wrecks, they're monuments to the unforgiving power of this coastline. Each has a dramatic story. Storms, fog, and sailors muttering, "Oh dear." You can get close enough to see twisted metal and barnacles as the desert reclaims them. It's eerie. The wind whispers with the ghosts of the past, or maybe that's just the wind. The contrast of rust against pale sand is striking, dramatic, moody, and a little sad. These ships were once proud vessels. Now they're dissolving back into the elements. A powerful lesson in impermanence, served with salty air and blowing sand. If you're expecting a Big 5 safari, you'll be disappointed. The wildlife here is specialized. Think nature's extreme survival show. The stars? Seals. Thousands of them at Cape Cross Seal Reserve. Noisy, smelly, fascinating. Beyond seals, black-backed jackals patrol the edges hoping for an easy meal. Desert-adapted birds flit about. If you're lucky, you might spot a brown hyena or a desert lion, but don't count on it. For animals, it's a constant struggle for food and water. For humans, amenities are few and far between. No luxury lodges, just rugged campsites. Bring everything, including your sense of humor. There's a thrill in seeing wildlife survive here. Every sighting feels special, a small miracle. These aren't zoo animals, they're masters of survival. It makes you appreciate your own cushy existence, even when your tent is full of sand. The resilience of life here is inspiring, and it makes your slightly crunchy dinner feel like a triumph. Food. The Skeleton Coast isn't a culinary hotspot. No Michelin stars, just sandwiches, emphasis on the sand. The wind ensures every bite comes with extra grit. Local seasoning maybe? You're on your own for food, canned goods, pasta, snacks. A chocolate bar can feel like a 5-star meal. I remember a squash cheese sandwich, eaten while leaning against the car to avoid being blown away. Gourmet? No. Satisfying? Absolutely. Occasionally a lodge offers a simple, hearty meal. Grilled meat, maybe local fish, and pap or potatoes. It's fuel, not fine dining, but always welcome after a long day. The biggest challenge, keeping sand out of your food. It gets everywhere. I tried to embrace it, extra fiber. My digestive system disagreed. Out here you adapt. Eat quickly, shield your plate, and accept a little sand in every meal. It's all part of the adventure, and the stories you'll tell later. Just remember, a little sand probably won't kill you. Probably. The Skeleton Coast's unique selling point? Feeling utterly alone, and sometimes utterly lost. The landscape is disorienting. One dune looks like the next, one beach blends into another. GPS is your best friend, if it works and you remembered to charge it. Sometimes, the road is just a track in the sand. Sometimes it disappears altogether. You learn to read the landscape or just follow the last set of tire tracks and hope for the best. Even when you're lost, the emptiness is exhilarating. No crowds, no traffic, just you and the vast expanse. It forces you to slow down. The journey is the destination. Finding a hidden shipwreck or viewpoint feels like a real accomplishment. And thank goodness for snacks. Nothing calms the nerves like a bag of chips. You might get lost, take a wrong turn, or stare at a wall of sand wondering what's next. But it's all part of the experience. It strips away modern certainties and throws you back on your own resources and your emergency cookies. Always pack emergency cookies. Wardrobe talk. Forget high heels, practicality rules here. The dress code layered and windproof. Think Arctic explorer meets desert nomad. The weather changes fast. Sunny 1 minute, foggy and freezing the next. My go-to sturdy boots, trousers with pockets for snacks, T-shirt, fleece, windproof jacket, and a hat that won't blow away. Sunglasses and a scarf are essential for the blowing sand. You see all kinds of fashion here. Some people wrapped up like mummies, others shivering in shorts. Layers are key. You're constantly adding or removing them. Everything gets covered in dust and sand. Embrace the grit. It's the SkeletonCoast signature accessory. The fog brings a damp chill. That's when the fleece and warm hat are lifesavers. You won't look ready for a magazine cover, but you'll be comfortable. Function over fashion, trust me. After days of battling sand, wind, and existential dread, here's the big takeaway. This godforsaken, inhospitable place is kind of amazing. It's the sort of place that tests you, strips away your expectations, and leaves you with nothing but the essentials: grit, awe, and a strange sense of peace. I came expecting to make fun of it, to endure it, to tick it off my list. I thought I'd just survive the experience, maybe get a good story out of it, and move on. But somewhere between the shipwrecks and roaring waves, the SkeletonCoast worked its magic. The silence here is almost deafening, broken only by the wind and the crash of the surf. The beauty isn't postcard pretty, it's raw, powerful, and honest. This landscape doesn't pretend, it's a place that wears its scars openly, and somehow that makes it even more compelling. It's vast, empty, wild, and in that wildness there's peace. There's a freedom in the emptiness, a sense that you can finally breathe. Away from modern noise you find clarity. The distractions of daily life fade, replaced by the rhythm of nature and your own thoughts. You feel small but connected to something ancient. The scale of it all is humbling, and it puts your worries into perspective. Should everyone visit? Probably not. This isn't a destination for everyone, and that's part of its appeal. If you want poolside cocktails and Wi-Fi, skip it. There are no resorts, no easy comforts, just you and the wild. This place demands resilience, adventure, and a willingness to be uncomfortable. It rewards those who embrace the challenge with memories that last a lifetime. It's not easy, but it's unforgettable, it's unique. The sunsets alone are worth every grain of sand in your shoes. It stays with you long after you've washed the last grain of sand out of your ears. The memories linger, gritty and golden. If you want something different, something that will challenge and change you, consider the SkeletonCoast. Pack snacks, maybe a spare windscreen, and bring an open mind. The SkeletonCoast is an adventure in every sense. It's a journey into the unknown, and that's what makes it so special. Sometimes the most rewarding journeys take you to the edge of the world and your comfort zone. And if you're lucky, you'll come back changed, carrying a piece of this wild place with you forever.